When it comes to concrete, we've got you covered. RowPaint.com offers custom concrete coating services for your garage, business, warehouse, and more. And we do it in one day. We are your complete concrete coatings solution.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Now, here's four-time NSMA Idaho Sports Writer of the Year, BJ Rains, with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Hey, what's going on, Boise State fans? Happy Thursday to you. BJ Rains here from the Cutwater Can Cocktail Studios. This is Bronco Nation News Live, BroncoNationNews.com. Mike Prater, downtown Boise, there in the KTIK 95.3 FM, the Ticket Studios. It's Thursday, so it's a Mike Prater Thursday, and we're now 2 days Prater from game day. What's going on, man?
We're fired up for game day, BJ. Tomorrow's going to be one day. Saturday's game day. This is a beautiful little countdown. I cannot wait for football Saturday.
Yeah, it's going to be, it's been, 8 months or whatever talking about it, and then it seems like in the last week or two, it's kind of snuck up pretty quick here that we're now 2 days from game day. It's, you guys, by the way, have done a great job on your show. If folks aren't listening to 95.3, the Ticket with Bob and his segments every day, and you and Johnny, hopefully folks are taking advantage of that, because it's been great stuff, kind of getting folks ready to the game, and the podcasts are available online if folks want to go back and listen to that 3 to 6 today and tomorrow live. But what's kind of the pulse? I don't know if you guys are getting a lot of texts or a lot of calls or what, but what do you think kind of the pulse is of Bronco Nation right now, 2 days before a pretty big season for this team?
Well, first of all, I appreciate the kind words. That's very nice of you to say. We're just trying to keep up with you and what you're doing there at Bronco Nation News. So you're chasing you is our goal, and for Boise State, chasing the Beavers is certainly their goal this weekend. The fans, we're not hearing from a lot of fans right now. I think there's like this nervous energy. Everybody's telling them right now that, including you, including me, including Johnny, including Bob, everybody's telling everybody that Boise State football is going to be really good this year, coming off of a 5-loss season. And this is kind of a skeptical fan base to begin with. I like that, by the way, because I'm a little skeptical myself. But I think they're just kind of waiting on pins and needles for something good to happen. Too many bad things have been happening with this football program. No bowl games, too many losses, too many home losses, too many injuries. But I think good news is ahead. I'm not sure Boise State's going to beat Oregon State on Saturday. That's the good news they're looking for. After that, we'll see how it shakes out. But I think the fans right now have some nervous energy about how this season's going to go.
Well, I'll give you my bold prediction for Saturday in a second. You can call me crazy, like I'm sure you like to do many times. But I first want to remind folks quickly about our promo we got going on right now. If you sign up for Bronco Nation News, a 1-year subscription today, or actually up until kickoff, you get a $25 gift card to our friends over at Pro Image / the Blue and Orange store. So, and I even said yesterday, you know what? I'll do it for one more day. I will also throw in a free round of golf out at Timberstone. So if you sign up for a subscription, you basically get it covered right off the bat by a free round of golf and a $25 gift card to go get a new hat or shirt for the season. So nice. Hopefully folks will take advantage of that. Just go to BroncoNationNews.com and sign up and click the subscribe button, sign up for a 1-year subscription, and you get I'll put it in the mail, a gift card for a round of golf and a gift card for $25. So hopefully you'll take advantage of that. I just, one of those mornings where I got up really early, Mike, and wanted to get some stuff done. I'm actually flying out late tonight to Portland and then driving down tomorrow to Corvallis, and wanted to get some stuff done. And I put my prediction on paper, and tell me I'm crazy, but and usually when I do this, sometimes I take the safe route, or I'm usually the pessimistic route where I say, okay, the safe route is to say they're going to lose the game, whatever. I got them winning by double digits, Mike.
What?
I got Boise State winning on Saturday by double digits.
You know what? That scenario, I'm not trying to steal your thunder. That scenario has entered my mind because I think every scenario is possible with this game. I've been predicting an Oregon State victory. I'm a flip-flopper. I keep tightening it up. The more I hear about the matchup, the X's and O's, and we learn about Oregon State and their strengths and some of their weaknesses. And, you know, it fits pretty well into what Boise State's trying to do. So The only real unknown factor here is what exactly is Boise State as a football team. We have so many variables with this team right now, and Hank Bachmeier is always a variable, and everybody's so fragile right now because of injuries and losses. And so, but I think that's a scenario that it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, I think that's a kind of a little bit of a crazy bet. That's kind of a crazy prediction, but it wouldn't surprise me. It's certainly a scenario that has to be on the table because this football team, we've been talking about it all offseason, is supposed to be good. A top 10 nationally defense, maybe scoring or giving up less than 20 points a game, and an offense that can go out and score 35 points a game. That's the expectations from where we sit right now.
Yeah, I think 34-20 is what I went with. And I just, I don't know. I got a weird feeling, and it's probably a bad omen for Boise State because I can't remember the last time I felt this confident. I don't know why. And I don't know much about, I can't lie and say I know everything about every player on the two deep for Oregon State or that I've studied, hours of their game tape. I just have a good feeling about this team. I keep every day I feel more confident in the offensive line. And I know fans don't like to hear that because every year you get confident in the O-line. And then next thing you know, it's 3 games in, you're talking about the O-line not being that great again. But yeah. I feel like having KTIK, Lamia Gonzalez back, every day I'm reminded how massive of a deal that is by no matter what coach you talk to, what player you talk to. Getting Cade Beresford back, I mean, that's 40% of your O-line is different. You have the other guys back in the spots they should be in at guard for Curran and Dooley, and you put Ojukwu at left tackle. I mean, I'm drinking the Kool-Aid on this offensive line. I think it's going to be really, really good. And I think you give Hank Bachmeier an extra second to throw, and you give George Holani maybe just one extra block or one extra lane. You just put it all together for me that if we keep hearing them saying they're going to unleash George Holani, and I don't think any of us are expecting him to get 40 carries on Saturday, but I mean, just to have where he can be out there every play and just be, even if he's not being used, just be more of a guy that can just be on the field for a 10-play drive, all 10 plays and not have to come in and out. And I just, you throw that in there with what we've heard about the receivers, my guy, Latrell Caples. We're going to go back and forth on that all season, by the way.
we are.
But I laughed yesterday when I heard you guys talking about Bowens. But I don't know why. I feel like the offense, the whole Plow Bachmeier thing, I just think this offense is just going to light up the scoreboard this year. I really, really do. And you look at the defense, and I just think there's, a lot of star power there too. So I don't know. It's one of those weird feelings where it's like I don't know. I just have a weird feeling it's going to start like UCF last year where they get out pretty good early and they're going to hang on this time and just roll. I don't think this is going to be much of a game, to be honest with you. And I could be crazy. I don't know why. I just have a feeling that they're going to make a statement. 7-5 is in the past. This team's going to come out, and we're going to be talking on Monday morning on your show, on my show, or whatever, Tuesday, I guess, with Labor Day on Monday. But we're going to be talking about just, wow, Boise State's back.
I've talked about how I'm comparing this season to the start of the 2019 season in terms of Hank Bachmeier and what he did, using receivers by committee, having a healthy football team, having a healthy offensive line, going off and winning a first big game, and then going off and doing some nice things and getting yourself to a decent little bowl game. So, I'm that scenario is not crazy, BJ. If Boise State can come out and do that, Boise State has that habit of playing well in these first games, but maybe shooting themselves in the foot, eliminating the mistakes, not worrying about these injuries. So maybe it comes true. If it did, that would be awesome. I'm always rooting for the biggest story in town. And I just opened up this show by saying, I think the fans are sitting back on their pins and needles, waiting for something good to happen because they've just been beat up way too much and they want it to happen, but they're a little bit skeptical. And if that happens, I think this town will explode. Jeremiah Dickey will have to open up the ticket office on Tuesday morning. There might be a line at the season ticket window.
Now, the official predictions, you guys can put them in Saturday on our pregame show, which we'll have streaming from Reser Stadium. But we do have some predictions coming in. Rudy says 37-24. Nathaniel has 42-24. 31-13 for Perry. What? That would be a nice win. Curtis is hoping I'm right. We got 31-21. Dayton says very optimistic, but if they win by double digits, like BJ says, the nervous energy will go away quick. Rudy says I'm drinking the Kool-Aid chaser to the whiskey mule. Not this early. Not this early. Not this early. They're talking about the O-line making a difference. A score by the defense, Perry's predicting as well. And Dayton says Bronco game night will be crazy if that scenario happens. Boise State by double digits. You know what though? Bronco game night's crazy whether you win or lose. I mean, you can take both angles. So either a dominating win or if they lose, Bronco game night's always crazy too.
Yes, especially when it's post midnight. And there will be Bronco game night post midnight this weekend. So very much looking forward to that. But Yeah, I mean, there's some fans that are very encouraged, and that's really nice to see. So I hope it happens, BJ. It'd be a really good story. It'd be a really fun story. We haven't had a buzz of a football season around here since Hurricane Hank and Florida State, and we know how that season kind of ended, and it's been kind of weird ever since. So this is a football town. This is an event town. Let's get the buzz back. Let's get the happiness back. Let's get football back in Boise and see what we can do to make the people around here get rid of that nervous energy.
Hey, if you are making the trip over to Corvallis, and if you'll be there tomorrow, we'll be at Sky High Brewing, downtown Corvallis, 4 to 8. It says 5, but they open at 4. If you can get there a little early, help us snag some seats, that'd be great. We'll be there around 4 o'clock tomorrow, 4 to 8 at Sky High Brewing, downtown Corvallis. So if you want to come hang out with some other Boise State fans, just have a drink, have some food, just say hello. We'd love to see some of you over there. We'll be there hanging out, and we'll have hopefully a Bronco Nation News banner that you can look for us, and I'll bring a couple BNN shirts, and we'll give those away. So hope we had a great response when I did this last year down at UCF. We packed the place in Florida, so we'll hopefully see some fans tomorrow over at Sky High Brewing in Corvallis. I want to tell you about a couple of our great sponsors: Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com, the official bank of Bronco Nation News. Check them out. They can all the mobile banking, all that stuff is great, and we appreciate Idaho Central Credit Union, so make sure you check them out. Lithia Ford of Boise as well. Purchased the vehicle there a couple weeks ago, and it was a very easy, smooth process, and Jim does a great job, him and staff over there. And they'll buy your used car too, even if you're not going to purchase a vehicle from them. They will buy your used car. Just check them out at lithiafordboise.com. And rowpaint.com, our title sponsor here on the show. Wouldn't be possible to have Bronco Nation News without rowpaint.com. So whether it's your interior, exterior painting, make sure you check them out, that concrete coating. And Mike, they're offering a sale right now, 10% off for interior painting if you schedule it for the wintertime. So they like to get the interior painting done in the wintertime, and they'll give 10% off if you schedule that interior painting right now. So check them out, 991-0567. Get more information online at rowpaint.com. George Holani's getting a lot of talk, Mike, and I know you guys talked about it on your show yesterday. He's a very intriguing guy for me. If he stays healthy and plays the full season and is, let loose like they say he will, I don't see how, he's not over 1,000 yards and how this offense isn't really, really good, which is one of the things I'm banking on. I want to talk about him, I guess, at punt returner here in a second. But first of all, his impact on the offense, Mike, Andy Avalos told us in the press conference, we all know the numbers when George plays. So I went and looked at the numbers because I wanted to know exactly what numbers we were talking about. And first of all, if George Holani just plays, all he has to do is play. Just appear in the game and have one carry in his career. Boise State is 21-5.
Wow.
So they're 21-5 when he just makes an appearance. And I said some of these numbers yesterday with Winston, but I think they're worth repeating. When he rushes for 100 yards, they're 7-0. When he rushes for 75 yards, they're 9-1. And when he just rushes for 40 yards, just give George Holani 40 yards in a game, which seems like it could happen on 2 or 3 carries. Boise State is 16-2.
Wow.
In their career when George Holani rushes for 40 yards. And, this is the crazy one. They're 5-0 when he scores a rushing touchdown, but it's hilarious. In 26 games, he's only scored a rushing touchdown in 5 games.
Yeah.
But they're 5-0. And then when he doesn't play, so they're 21-5 when he plays, and they're just 5-3 when George Holani doesn't play. And so the numbers do pretty much speak for themselves. And if George Holani is healthy and able to play this season and be unleashed, I mean, that really is a game changer for this offense.
BJ, he's the most valuable player on this roster, and there's not even a number 2. Because I can make a case for a backup or the position itself, every place across the depth chart at Boise State football. George Holani is the most valuable player on this football team. It's 106 guys on this roster, and there's one guy that can be a difference maker, win or lose. I don't know why. And George isn't like the next coming of Reggie Bush. He's small. He's soft-spoken. I don't understand why we've gotten to this position, but Boise State football needs George Holani. And when he comes through, as you just pointed out, those are amazing stats. I may have to steal those. And I'll even give you credit on Idaho Sports Talk. Those are amazing stats. It just shows you how important it is for George Holani. So we'll talk about the punt return. I'm still excited about that. I have no issues with that whatsoever, but I need to see him on the field for 10, 11, 12 games at running back. If they do, Boise State's absolutely going to be special this football season.
Now, on the punt return thing, I'm not as excited as everybody else is about this. I just don't necessarily know what the point is here. And maybe if he's just back there to fair catch every time, that's fine. Boise State did only return 13 punts all of last season.
Yep.
And 2 of those were on blocked kicks that they turned for touchdowns. So they literally only actually tried to return an actual punt 11 times in 12 games. So you're talking less than 1 a game on average where they actually caught the punt and tried to get yardage. And so it's not something they do a ton nowadays. You get the high punt, you fair catch it. And if that's basically what he's doing, because Andy Avalos did say that the big thing was you have to have somebody that can catch the ball. And it sounds like they may have had some other guys fumbling or whatever. I mean, basically just catch the ball is the first thing you have to do. And so if he's just back there because he has the best hands and he can catch the ball and fair catch it, I'm fine. But we've talked for 8 months or whatever about how big of a deal George Holani is to this offense. I just don't know why the extra wear and tear or hits or potential for injury is just really worth it. You need him at running back. You got 10 other guys who can catch a punt and take a chance. We saw Steph Cobbs last year return one to the house on his only attempt. I know they got a reason behind it. It'll probably work out fine. For me, with how important he is at running back, and I know every year that's the thing. Do you put your star players on special teams? I think even more so this year than ever is George Holani need to be taken care of and make sure he's good to go at running back. I just don't personally know that the small payoff of him maybe getting 12 yards on one return or breaking one is worth the risk of potential injury there, but that's just me.
You're not wrong, and that's certainly the great debate, but the fact that the key stat here is basically 1 a game. He's going to get hit 1 time a game. He's running the football 25 times a game, and we're not worried about that. We're clamoring for 30, 40 carries. Give us Jay Ajayi, give us Alexander Madison, give us the workhorse running back that's just going to go out there and crank out 1,500 yards. But we're not worried about 1 single carry. They made the decision based on exactly what you just said, BJ. They need a decision maker, and they need a guy that can catch the football. And George Holani is going to be really good at both, and he's going to average 6.3 yards or whatever ridiculous low number it is because it's punt return. If he can bust off 1 because he's great and he's talented and he can do that, that's great. Just take care of the football. Make sure you get the football back to the offense. That's his job. Get the football back to the offense. The days of a gunner screaming down and just clocking a Gilligan-style punt returner here at Boise State. It can't happen, but it doesn't happen on a regular basis. The halos and the bubbles and the bubble rep that these guys are around and the rules, it's way too safe. I'm not worried about 1 play, 1 time in a game. I'm more worried about 25 times and 25 carries in a game.
I got a trivia question for folks here for a free pizza to West Side Pizza. Whoever can be the first to comment on YouTube here with the trivia question. I'm trying to figure out how to phrase this, though. Boise State has scored a punt return touchdown 5 years in a row. 5 years in a row, Boise State has at least 1 punt return touchdown. I guess the question is, does anybody know okay, there's 2 other schools. Can anybody name the 2 other? They're tied with 2 other schools for the longest streak in the country here, 5 in a row. I don't know if you know the answer, Mike, but don't say it yet. If anybody knows the other 2 schools that Boise State is tied with for the most punt return touchdowns, at least 1 in 5 straight seasons, let us know, and I'll give you a gift card to West Side Pizza. But, Mike, while they're getting the responses in, special team, that's Boise State's been known to have special team. That's what Boise State does. They put star guys and they dominate on special teams. And you saw, by the way, they had 3 return touchdowns last year on punt return if you count the 2 blocks. And that tied for the most in the country with Coastal Carolina last year. 1 was actually a return, and then the 2 blocks. So they had 3 returns on special teams. And but you know what? You kind of convinced me there. You kind of changed my mind a little bit, or at least made me be a little more okay with it, I guess, when you think of it that way. And I guess 4 out of 5 times he's going to just call fair catch, and you're good.
Yeah.
Steph Cobbs on kick return. You like that?
I do. I do. And maybe as the season evolves, maybe you want to see him on both, because I'd like, he's got more of a chance, as we saw last year, to break out the punt. So if Steph Cobbs becomes the full-time returner at the end of the season, I'm okay with that. But right now, I know there's a lot of people and a lot of angst about George Holani, and I just don't see it. So I would rather take the risk of him getting hurt than losing the ball on a bad decision in a key game that could cost them or change the outcome of their season. That's the most important thing here. And I know losing George Holani would change the outcome of their season, but I think the risk is a little bit less. Steph Cobbs, as a returner on kicks, that dude is going to keep that streak going. Keep that stat alive, because Boise State will have number 6 Well, you talked about punt returns, but Steph Cobbs is too magical, and he's going to get stuff done. Boise State's done a hell of a job. They got a starting punt returner in the NFL with Avery Williams. They got a starting punt returner in the NFL with Khalil Shakir, and now all of a sudden they got two pretty good returners here. So I like what they do when it comes to the mentality of the return game at Boise State.
We got 5 guesses in so far, Mike. All 5 include one of the teams being Utah, and that's incorrect. Utah is not one of the, according to Boise State's game notes, that's not the correct answer. We haven't had the correct answer yet. I'll give you like one more minute, and then we'll just give it away anyway. But if you want the free pizza here, 2 teams, and I'll give you a hint. One is in the Mountain West. One team is in the Mountain West, and there's 2 teams that have a punt return touchdown 5 years in a row. And if you can let us know, we will give you a gift card. But while we do that, I want to thank a couple more of our great sponsors real quick. And then I want to ask Mike about the depth chart because there's some interesting stuff on there. United Commercial Insurance, 44 states around the country. They can write business policy insurance. They're big supporters of the local sports community. If you own the business or run the insurance for the business, 44 states. A quick call can save you hundreds of dollars on your business insurance. So make sure you check them out, UnitedCommercialInsurance.com. Boise Dentistry Co. If you're looking for a dentist, check out our Dr. Chris Meinert. They're at Boise Dentistry Co. Full family dentistry, all the new technology. It's a great spot, and they love talking sports with you while you're in the chair there. Very friendly, fun atmosphere. Locations across the Treasure Valley. Check them out. Boise Dentistry Co. The Blue and Orange Store, you can get the new gear for the season there. TheBlueandOrangeStore.com. Free shipping on any order over $40. Free shipping, any order over $40. If you're in town, you can go check out that Pro Image spot to the Blue and Orange Store. And again, we're giving out a $25 gift card for anyone that signs up today for a 1-year subscription to BroncoNationNews.com. You sign up for a 1-year subscription, you get a free $25 gift card to the Blue and Orange. And today I will also throw in a free round of golf at Timberstone Golf Course. So take advantage of that. Go support our friends out at the Blue and Orange Store and Pro Image. Mike, I know you were looking at the game notes there. So I think you might have the answer. And somebody has the answer here, but I'm guessing Dayton looked it up in the game notes once I said game notes. But we had Memphis and Utah was incorrect. Utah and Florida, San Diego State, Ohio State. And yes, San Diego State is one of the teams. We had a lot of Alabama guesses. No, Fresno State, Alabama. We had Ohio State, Central Florida, Air Force, and then some other guesses here. But Dayton admits that yes, sir, he did look it up in the game notes, but that's okay. I shouldn't have said that, but we'll give it to Dayton. San Diego State and Kansas State are the only other 2 schools that have a punt return touchdown 5 years in a row. So Dayton, I will get your name added to the list over at Westside Pizza. Appreciate you for checking us out. He's also my accountant, so I guess I got to make him the winner, right? So good. Congrats to Dayton there, and nice job on that. Mike, the depth chart, we talked about it Monday night on our season-long subscriber show, or season-only subscriber show on Monday. I don't think there were any huge surprises. When, kind of what we were reading the tea leaves, which players were made available to the media, and kind of who we thought was going to win. I don't think there was any big surprises. The one thing, though, it did stick out to me, and I don't remember if you were on when we talked about this Monday or not, but you look at that depth chart, the starting defense has 10 seniors. And I know people are saying, well, what does that mean for next year's team? And you'll worry about next year, because a couple of those guys could technically come back. You're not going to lose all 10 probably. But, man, you look at 10 seniors, you look at what Andy Avalos, and his defensive background, Spencer Danielson, and then you look at 10 guys that have, are all, and a couple of them are 6th-year guys. And then even like a couple of, the non-senior, they're not, like freshmen. I mean, they got a lot of depth. It's 8 on offense, by the way, eight seniors on offense. And the other guys are all like 3rd or 4th year guys. But on defense, 10 of the 11, and I guess you throw Herbert Gums in there as an or, would be 10 of 12. But that just stood out to me when I saw the depth chart, that it was this is, we knew those guys were probably going to be there, but once you see it on paper, that's a lot of veteran guys to go into a place like Saturday at Oregon State.
And when we talked about that, I put out a tweet. I think we all kind of put out a tweet talking about that same. Essentially, it's, as you said, 18 of the 22 starters are going to be seniors. When you see that, it's like, whoa. But when we put that on social media, the fans kind of got fired up. It's like, well, what about next year? Well, why are we talking about next year? Let's worry about this year. Those are the guys that you want on the football field. Yeah, you would like a little bit more balance, but it's been goofy the last couple of years, a lot of this roster management. By the way, speaking of roster management, here's the one little fact that I found out about this depth chart and this football team, and it might show you the little bit of inner workings of behind the scenes. They put 53 players on this depth chart. There are 106 players on this football team, which means there are 53 players not on this depth chart. And then if you go look at the depth chart, half of them are exactly offense, half of them are exactly defense. So I'm talking about the roster. I'm sorry. There's 49 defensive players on this roster, 49 offensive players on this roster, and 8 special teams. So they literally split the room in half. And Andy Avalos says, we got this many players. Offense gets exactly half. Defense gets exactly half. And I can see coaches just negotiating for a spot here, a spot there. No, I need a defensive tackle. No, I need an offensive tackle. They split this football team in half, and I found that to be very interesting. The other interesting thing I saw about this, no Sam Vidlak. I thought Sam Vidlak would be on the depth chart. I know Andy Avalos just likes to go too deep on his depth chart, but I thought Sam Vidlak should have been on that depth chart. And that caught me off guard, BJ.
Yeah, nobody beyond George Holani or Ashton Genty either. I mean, they've listed 4 or 5 running backs before on the depth chart, and you're right, yeah. It's a little different, with Avalos and Harshin, but yeah, I actually thought it would be Green or Vidlak. I was a little surprised that they came out and were announced it and were as confident that, yes. And you even tried to kind of pride, like, well, what if he gets hurt? You didn't. Was there a situation where potentially it would actually be Vidlak, and he's like, nope, Taylon Green's our backup quarterback, and so I was a little surprised that they were so. I thought it would be Green. I really did, but the way that they were as adamant as they were when they came out and said it, I was a little surprised by that.
I think they're sending a message, and this is just pure Prater being speculative. I think they're sending a message to Taylon Green, and I think it's a little bit political. Sam Vidlak's going nowhere. He's already transferred once. His family has moved to Idaho. He's not going to go anywhere. If he's the third string, second string, first string, eighth string quarterback, he's not going anywhere. Taylon Green's been sitting on his butt for 2 years and wants some significant progress in his career. If he's not named the hardcore, official, firm, concrete backup quarterback, kid like that might have some second thoughts in his mind and might want to move. So whether they make a decision down the road in terms of who actually goes out on the football field, we'll see. I'm assuming it's going to be Taylon Green, but I think that decision was 100% political. And you say, why do I have to have politics in my football? I agree with this. Just because I said it was a political decision, it doesn't mean it was a bad decision or a wrong decision. I think it's the right decision. And unfortunately, in this day of age of football with transfers and windows and NIL and all this other stuff, and they just changed the transfer rules again yesterday, BJ. I'm tired of looking at the transfer rules and they change on us all the time. You have to be political, and I think they did the right thing by making the right decision.
Perry says, I think Prater's right, but don't tell him that.
They know. They sit and have these conversations.
Oh yeah. Anything else as we kind of start to wrap this up, Mike? I want to get one quick thought on the college football expansion from you. But is there anything else with the roster or the depth chart or anything else going into Saturday's game? Your kind of final word here.
No. Just we did a thing on the show yesterday. The Idaho 5. This 2-deep depth chart with 5 Idaho kids. Bolt, Ojukwu, Tarlis, Matlock, Dalmas, even Riddle, the holder, who might be the most dependable player on this roster because you never really hear from him. I cannot wait to all five of these kids have unbelievable stories, and I cannot wait to see how they succeed. It's really going to be fun to watch these 5 Idaho kids play this year.
Do you have any problem with 3 linemen being on the posters outside the stadium?
No, blue collar, baby. Blue collar. It's time to get back to blue collar.
A couple fans saying it should have been that, and even one that said they're going to struggle to sell tickets because they have linemen up there and not the sexy quarterback, receiver, running back, and that's a marketing problem.
No, it's not. Hank Bachmeier wants none of that. Hank Bachmeier wanted no media, no marketing, no nothing this year. He wanted a clear, simple mind. I think it's a strategy, and I think they have a strategy that it's blue collar. Put the 3 big fat guys, the 3 big uglies up there on the stadium, and let's get Boise State football back to blue collar. I don't need no pretty boy quarterback on the side of my stadium. I need the big uglies, and Boise State football needs to be blue collar. And I think without even talking about it, just based on their actions, you can see that they're going in that direction. And Hank Bachmeier is fully on board with that.
Hey, in 30 seconds, Mike, we're going to find out Friday. It sounds like behind the scenes they're wheeling and dealing on this college football playoff. May come back for as early as 2024, 2025, right? Or 23, yep. 24.
24.
But, I mean, if you're given an automatic spot or you're doing the 6 automatic spots or whatever, I mean, it would seem to think with those other teams leaving for the Big 12 that Boise State all of a sudden is in a pretty good spot here.
The news was fantastic, and all of a sudden I feel like a Boise State football fan. I'm skeptical. I'm nervous. I sense some good news happening. It could happen as soon as tomorrow. The presidents have kind of commandeered this entire process. And this commissioners are screwing it up. The athletic directors are screwing it up. Everybody's screwing it up. So 11 presidents are going to come together, including one from the Mountain West. I think he's the UNLV president, is on this decision-making board. Good news could happen tomorrow if they have this 12-team tournament starting in 24. Oh, baby. I think Boise State's in pretty good shape to at least be a part of the conversation.
Well, we'll be listening today, 3 to 6, tomorrow, 3 to 6, Idaho Sports Talk. We'll be hearing you on the pregame show now, right? It's 5 hours of pregame coverage starting, I guess that'd be at 3:30 Mountain Time on Saturday over on KBOI. Folks can listen to that. And then you and John will be on the postgame show as well. So 95.3, the ticket. You guys got full wall-to-wall coverage here, getting everybody ready for Saturday's kickoff. Hopefully they'll listen to that, and I'll join you guys from Corvallis at 4 o'clock tomorrow. Looking forward to that as well. So, Mike, I appreciate your time as always, and it's here, man.
Safe travels, my friend. Looking forward to the conversation from Corvallis. Stay sober. 4 o'clock. Radio hit. Idaho Sports Talk. See you then, buddy.
Sounds good. Hey, one final plug, $25 gift card and a free round of golf if you sign up today for a subscription to BroncoNationNews.com. So support us, help our efforts for travel expenses, things like that. And your subscription pays for itself with a gift card and a round of golf at Timberstone Golf Course. Just go to BroncoNationNews.com and you can sign up there. And we'll hopefully get a few more before kickoff here. So appreciate it. Nice. Have a great day. By the way, big announcement coming 2 o'clock today. Look for a live show. I'm hoping around 2 o'clock today, another big announcement about an addition to the Bronco Nation News team. So there's a tease for you. Another addition to the Bronco Nation News team, 2 o'clock on our social media channels for a live broadcast. So have a great day. We'll talk to you this afternoon. Bronco Nation News.